you eyeing a brand new home in Fort Myers, Florida? Well, hold that thought. Before you sign on the dotted line, I'm going to give you some insider secrets that you need to know. I'm here to reveal 10 essential tips that can save you time, money, and a lot of headaches. As a realtor that spent my first 2 years in the business working for builders and developers, I've seen a lot. Don't make a move until you watch this video, and if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a bonus tip you probably never even thought of. My name is Feltis, and I get calls from clients all the time moving to the area, and I love helping them make Southwest Florida their new home. If you find value in this video, please like and subscribe to my channel as I put out new content every week. All right, so let's kick this off. Tip number 1 is going to be location, location, location. Figure out where you're going to be wanting to live before you find the builder and the neighborhood, because in Fort Myers, you're going to find out that there's only specific builders building in communities that are all to the east of 75, and they start at Babcock Ranch, and then they run all the way down the east side of 75, and they're building further east as they go because land in the Fort Myers area is already built up. So you may find an occasional lot like in San Carlos Park or in some areas of Fort Myers, or even in the downtown River District, you might find a lot here and there that you can purchase and then have a builder come in and build the home for you there. With that said, you're probably going to have to find a more localized builder that's going to be able to build that home for you, as opposed to a national builder like Pulte or Lennar or something like that. Once you find out the location that you're preferring to be in, then we can start drilling down on what neighborhoods might work best for you. Number 2 is your warranty. So when you're working with a builder, you usually get a warranty that comes with it, and it could be a 1-2-10 or a 110 or a 210. So each builder has a little bit different structure on what they work with for warranties. So you just want to make sure that when you're reading it, you get them to give you the information so that you can look at it and say, okay, 1 year I have covered for cosmetic things, 2 year is for plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, and then the 10 year is going to be for your structure and the foundation. That's typically how it works, but you need to read the warranty information so that you're fully understanding of what this builder covers with the warranties. Number 3 is going to be a third-party inspection. Typically what I tell people is you can either do this before you close on the home, or you can do it right before it ends of the first part of that warranty that we were just talking about. So if you have a 1 year warranty, just as an example, you would have an inspector come in at the 11th month, do an inspection, and then you have a list of items that you would like to have the builder fix. So when it comes time that your warranty expires, you've got it all covered right at the end of that 1 year period. So if something's going on at the AC right at that 11th month, they can check that, and then the builder will come in and fix that instead of you having to come fix it yourself. Okay, number 4, we're going to be talking about unforeseen expenses when you do a build. A lot of the builders you're going to find out do not do ceiling fans, they don't do blinds, they don't do curtains and things like that. So this is going to be an expense when you move into a house. You got to make sure that you're budgeting accordingly. So if you walk into a house and you just close and you spent all of your money on moving into the house, now you have to spend a few $1,000s more to cover all the windows and put ceiling fans in and light fixtures and things like that. So plan ahead so that when you get to the end of your build, you're ready with the funds to finish the house on your own. And the reason they don't typically put those in is because most people have different opinions on what they like. So if a builder spends, $100 or $200 per ceiling fan, and you move into the house and you immediately take them down, then that's wasted money that nobody's happy about. Number 5 is, are you encouraged to use an agent when you're purchasing a home? And the answer is a resounding yes if you talk to the builders, because what they want is to have you represented. They represent themselves in the contract, so if you're not represented, it can make things go a lot rougher because you don't understand the processes. So if you have an agent that's experienced, they understand how these processes work, they can work with you. And if you're unavailable at specific times and they need to get money from you for a draw or things like that, they can have a second person that they can reach out to get that information and handled in a timely manner. Also, as an agent representing you, the builder is paying that fee at the closing. So it's not that it's free that you're getting representation, but it's already been built into the contract price and they're paying us anyway. So it's better to have representation than to not have representation in the build process. Number 6 is HOA violations and how the HOAs work. So a lot of times you want to read those bylaws in the HOA documents so that you understand what they expect, and they're usually there for your protection. They want the homes to be in a normal color palette, and they have to be approved so all the homes have a similar feel, and you don't have cars in the driveway that don't have tires and wheels on them and things like that. So they're trying to keep the values of the homes up as high as possible without having any problems down the road with neighbors and things like that causing problems. Occasionally you may get a violation if your yard is too long, but most of the communities now, if it's in a community, they're going to have lawn maintenance taken care of so that everything looks the same and it's all mowed at the same time. So that's a good thing as well. Number 7 is your construction timeline. If you're doing a construction to permanent loan with the builder, say it's an individual builder that's how they focus, then you need to know when certain draws are done. They may request additional funds from you at certain times during the building process. And if you're doing new construction, typically it's going to run 12 to 14 months to build a home from the time you sign a contract to going to the design center, picking out all of your options and things like that, and then getting the home built. And if it's a custom home or a large home, you may run into 18 months or 24 months. It all depends on the process and how much you're putting into it and the different things that are going on with the build process. Number 8 is going to be the pros and cons of doing a spec home versus a new build. And the easiest part of that would be timeline. If you're needing to move into a home within the first 2 to 3 months of when you're starting to look, more than likely you're going to have to do a spec home or a home that's just finished and it's put on the market by the homeowner that built the home. Maybe the homeowner built it as a spec home. But you're going to need to be looking at something that's going to be completely through the permitting process and probably at cabinets or something like that if you're looking at a 60-day move-in time frame. Now, usually the builder has a half a dozen or more homes that they have in an inventory like this because due to their numbers that they crunch every year, the builder understands this and they know how many homes they need to build as a spec home for people that are coming into the market. Number 9 would be your design center. Most of the builders have a design center that they work with, except for some of the national builders that give you all of the options in one home and you don't get to pick anything. Maybe a color of the countertops or the cabinets is about all you get to pick from. Or if there's carpet in some of the bedrooms, you can change that to tile throughout the home. But if you go to most of the builders, they're going to have a design center that will help you put together all the options and all the things that make the house exactly how you want it. That can be a lengthy process and it could take 4 to 8 hours depending on what you're looking at and how focused you are on what your needs are. Because when I worked for the last builder that I was at, they had level 1 through 5 in flooring, they had levels 2 to 4 or whatever in cabinets, countertops. Everything has different levels, there's different price points, so you want to make sure that what you're getting is best for you. Another part of the design section would be how much are you going to spend on the new build. Typically, you don't want to go above 10% of the purchase price of the home, and this is something that we could ask the new home sales rep at that time because they're going to know what other people are doing, and you don't want to put more money into the house than your neighbors do by much because you're not going to get that extra money back because when they look at comps, they're going to be pulling from your neighbors' homes that have just built their homes as well. Number 10 would be the stage of the community. So there's different points where they're just breaking ground on some of the first homes, and that's where you're going to get your best prices most likely because that's the initial stages and they want to get some homes started, so they're going to give you better pricing in the beginning to get those first 50 to 100 homes built depending on how large the community is. So if you are willing to wait and go through the headaches of having construction being built around you for the next 2 to 3 years, maybe even more, then you're going to get a better value if you go in right at the very beginning of building a home or building a community, I should say, than you would be if you're getting in at the very end when the amenities and everything else is already completely finished. On the flip side of that, you're going to have a lot of noise and construction during that phase, but if you're at the very end of it, you're going to have a lot less noise, a lot less construction to deal with, and possibly nails in the street and things like that. So it all depends on what you're feeling and what you're willing to accept, I guess, as far as the length of time that you want to sit going through the construction phase of the community. And since you stuck around at the end, I'm going to give you the bonus that nobody really thinks about, and that is if you have a builder that has inventory homes or are building spec homes or homes for other people, a lot of times they will back out, or something changes in their family or their job or whatever, and they have to back out of that contract. And that home could be customized just the way that you like it, but it's not available on MLS or anything like that. So if you don't know about it, there's no way to buy it. But since I work with a lot of these different new home sales reps, I have access to reach out to them and see if there are any homes that are in that situation. So a lot of times you can find a home that is customized a little bit, and it may be to what your liking is, and then you can move into that home without having to wait the full year to a year and a half to get the home built. So this is Kim Feltis, and if you're looking at buying at this time, please reach out to me, and my contact information is in the description below. And if you just have questions, feel free to either call me, email me, text me, whatever way works best for you. I'm here to help anybody. And again, if you like my channel and this content is working for you and helping you make decisions, then please like and subscribe below. And I look forward to talking to you in the near future.